building a strong core, even if you have back pain. Hey guys, it's Dr. Kresimir here. I'm a chiropractor from London, Ontario, Canada. I help people live extraordinary lives through the power of chiropractic care and life by design principles. On today's video, and no, it's not a talking head, just a talking head video. There are some things we need to chat about first, but I do have exercises that I shot at the gym that I'm going to be showing you. The purpose of today's video is to discuss and to show how to create a strong core even with back pain. But before we get into that, please like and share and subscribe this video. This gloomy weather is getting to me. It's totally free for you to do, and it's helpful to get more people out in the community to hear this message and to get healthier, which is really the goal. So before we get into the exercises, there are three things, and I shot this video already and I had to go back because I felt like I was beating around the bush a couple times. So there's three things that are important to understand when it comes to your spine and spinal health and training your core. The first one is your spine doesn't like to move, especially if you've had an examination and an analysis and there are degenerated discs, herniated discs, or just spinal degeneration or arthritis in general. Our spines can move, and hopefully they can move well and healthy, but it's not their preferred thing to do. Our body likes most of the movement, particularly flexion and extension, to happen from our hips, not from our spine. So that's the first thing. Your spine doesn't like to move. So when we're doing exercises, like crunches, like Russian twists, there's the potential, and I'm not saying not to do those things, but I am saying if you're struggling with back pain, or if it's a concern, to at least think about it, to maybe limit or do other things to strengthen the core. Okay, so that's point number one. Your spine doesn't like to move. Point number two, your core, the way the muscles are built, the purpose of the core, and it's not just these muscles here, the rectus abdominis, it's everything. It's the ones on the side, it's your glutes. Part of why they exist is to prevent your spine from moving too much. They're there to put the brakes on the twist, or to put the brakes on moving forward. Okay, so that comes into the style of exercises that we're going to be recommending. And number three, which will make more sense when I cover the video, because I shot it in the gym and I have a kettlebell that I'm using, and you're thinking, well, I don't go to the gym, or I can't go to the gym, and I don't have a kettlebell, and I don't know which kettlebell, to get it, and is it heavy enough? The whole point of training your core is to have things be functional. So things like if you're a young mom and you have a baby, carrying the baby is the same as carrying a kettlebell. It's something that you carry on one side of your body. Your body will want to lean and tip this way, but keeping your spine braced and straight, whether it's a kettlebell, a baby, a grocery bag, something heavy above your head, it's all the same principle, right? What will happen, and the best way to train your core functionally, is to use, first of all, to be active, right? So I'm simple things like taking out the trash, right? You hold up this heavy garbage bag or these heavy garbage bags, and what will happen is your body will want to tip to one side. Core training literally is keeping your spine straight, keeping everything tight, and then walking with the garbage bag to learn how to build strength in those positions. We don't want to live, at least the way that I train, I don't want to live a separate life in the gym and then a separate life outside the gym. I want the two to mesh together. I want the stuff that I do at the gym to transfer and apply directly to how I live my life. I see a lot of patients at the practice. I'm on my feet. Sometimes we have a lot of nurses that we take care of. Sometimes our job is physical in the sense that we're moving and transporting people. We're physical. I want my body to be able to handle those things. This is a great time to go ahead and show you the exercises. So we'll cut there right now. Now let's have a chat over how we can recreate similar to what I was talking about before the video too. So I showed you the exercises. They're all done one-handed, right? So we had a suitcase carry where I was carrying the kettlebell on the side. You want to make sure that you're trying to get your shoulder as far away from your body as you can. Should be relatively heavy. We had the front rack carry, we had the waiter's carry, and then we had the deadlift. And on purpose, I mean, yes, you can do it, you know, both hands. That's a great core exercise too. But the whole purpose of the one arm is much like I was describing before the video. It's to try to take you off balance. So now we're not just strengthening the core up front and the core in the back, we're also strengthening the core on the side. Try your best to pick a relatively heavy weight. A relatively heavy weight in this context is a weight that you can carry for 30 to 40 seconds before it starts to get challenging to carry. That's gonna vary for everybody, and as you get stronger, it's going to change. So have the ability to up your game and to change it. The goal, and I'll talk about the last one because the last one I showed was a deadlift. But the goal is to be able to do those carries for a minute, rest a minute, and then perform the whole cycle again 8 times on each side. So you're looking at, if you could budget 10 to 15 minutes every day to work on this, it would make a tremendous difference to your health. I have included the deadlift as a core exercise. They call the deadlift the king of lifts for a reason. It's one of those lifts where not only is it training everything on the back side of your body, so your upper back, your lower back, your grip strength, your glutes, your hamstrings, your calves, everything. It also requires muscle activation in the sense that everything needs to be done well together in order for the weight to move. It looks really simple, but it's a tremendously challenging exercise to get right. The reason it's included on the list is because you should be able to pick things up and put them down, like your children, like rocks in the garden, like snow when you're shoveling I think I want to avoid winter, but snow when you're shoveling the driveway. You know, anybody that tells you that you can't deadlift, I think is dropping the context that deadlifting literally means taking something from a lower elevation and then picking it up to a higher elevation. And that's something that we do all of the time. We should develop strength in those positions. So with all that being said, if you have any comments or questions, please post them below. But get going on training this. You know, the way that the exercises are designed, because you're learning how to brace your core, it shouldn't, if you're having pain, please stop and consult a healthcare provider always. But the way that I structure them, you shouldn't be having too much pain in those positions because they're neutral positions. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll talk soon.